Welcome to the Green Nurse Podcast, where we bring hope and inspiration for growth and healing. And we're here to change the dialogue and stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Got a surprise for you all. We're here to educate and empower patients to make choices that are best for them. We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing. The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I was cannabis agnostic for many, many years. And the more research I did, the more I discovered that cannabis is this amazing medicine.
I was told that I had a 4-stage pancreatic cancer. The doctor really told me he couldn't do anything else. He gave me her name and she called me and she came to my house. She started to give me cannabis. My oncologist was puzzled because he couldn't find the cancer anymore.
All of the learning that we get comes from the Green Nurses Group, comes from their support, comes from their guidance. I trust everything that she says.
Simply meet people where they're at. The plant doesn't, stress to grow, so we don't stress to share it. We're healing people.
Cannabis has been used as a medicine for tens upon thousands of years. Here's the big message. Cannabis needs to be federally legal. We need to have laws that are the same across all 50 states that allow access to anyone and everyone who wants to utilize this powerful medicine.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Green Nurse Podcast. So happy to have you all here. We often talk about things that people don't want to talk about. However, they're really important subjects that need to be discussed to decrease stigma for healing. Tonight's show is going to be a celebratory show. We have the lovely Tasha Jackson here today.
I'm back.
The Vice President of Program Development at Holistic Caring Network. And we're going to be discussing her role at Holistic Caring Network as the VP of Program Development and some of the newer programs that are rolling out in the network. But first, let me introduce Tasha. Tasha, as I said, is the Vice President of Program Development for Holistic Caring Network. She has her bachelor's degree in Anthropology and her Master of Arts in Education. Tasha was on our podcast in July, sharing her story as a school teacher turned cannabis educator program developer. Tasha is an aspiring herbalist and a zealous educator with the dream of returning the ancient knowledge of plants back to the people. She designs curriculums for holistic caring, for which now houses our ever-evolving Green Nurse platform. I met Tasha at the beginning of this year when Holistic Caring and the Green Nurses started courting one another to see how we could grow both our organizations. And now that we have officially merged, we're working on growing in health for both patients and providers. We are now a global organization reaching more people with our combined platforms. Tasha, welcome back. I'm just really, really excited to have you back here to discuss these programs that you've developed and to announce some of the newest programs that you've written. So first, for our viewers, let's talk about your shift from school teacher to cannabis nurse educator, creating curriculums for all of the nurses and all of those coaches that are interested in learning how to evolve into the cannabis space. So welcome back, Tasha.
Thanks for having me again. I was super excited when you asked me. I just have to say that. I love being here.
Well, your story is just so different. It's just, you entered into the cannabis space as a school teacher, master's in education, educator, really not knowing that you were going to be doing this, so it's a really, really cool story. So for our new viewers, just let them know a little bit about your history.
Yeah, sure. So I have been a K through 12 classroom teacher for the last 10 years, and I also have taught adults. And, I don't want to say I have done everything, but for just a school teacher, usually you only teach high school English or high school math, or you teach elementary school, right? I've done it all. And so I really wanted to take my talents somewhere else. I wanted to be challenged, but at the same time, I wanted to help a lot of people. And little did I know that, April 2020, Elizabeth Mack would come knocking on my door or calling me on the phone to see. And that's where the journey started. She reached out to me through a mutual friend, and she said, hey, I heard that you can build an online course for me. And I was like, yeah, I could do that in 6 weeks of my sleep, no problem. And so I didn't ask first what the content matter was. I just said yes. I don't ask. These are one of those things, right? Where I just was so excited about, and at that time it wasn't even in sight of me becoming VP or anything like that. It was just, 6 weeks, shake hands, walk away at that point.
Right.
And so Elizabeth, we were working together very intensely for that period of time. And again, I not knowing the curriculum found me, and whenever I opened it up, I was just like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? Because I'm not a nurse, I'm not a healthcare professional, and I know nothing about cannabis. But I said, you know what? I put my intention out that I wanted something that was going to be the next phase of my life, that was going to be rewarding, that was going to help a lot of people, that I could use my talents and I can lend myself to educating others in a completely different capacity than I did before. And so I said, you know what? Okay. I said, this is the answer to my prayers. You never know what form it will come in, right?
I know. So true. It is so true. Well, Tasha, the other thing too is, so now you're vice president of program development at Holistic Caring Network. What does that mean? Let's talk about Holistic Caring Network, the merger, and what you actually do. So I think that
okay, sure. A lot of people. Yeah. So Holistic Caring it started in 2016, and it was just Elizabeth and a couple of nurses that were doing nurse consults. That was it. Then Elizabeth started learning more. She started going to conferences and, having her patient notes, and of course, reading a lot. She reads probably more than anyone I know. And so she started pulling together all of this information, and she started going out into the community and doing lectures and being asked to speak and doing podcasts and things like that. And then, of course, whenever the pandemic hit, she couldn't go out in person anymore. And so then what happened after that was, what you see now is I can't go out in person. Same story as everybody else. Can't go out in person. I need to do this online. I need someone to make that happen. And so that is the way that Holistic Caring grew up until the point that I had joined. So then after I had joined, it was, we're going to start off with the licensing program. So that's a program that I built first. And that program took me about 200 hours to get it to where you see it today. And then we have the licensing program, and then we have just the regular health coach. And so those were the two that we started with. Then we have a dispensary program. And then, why don't we pull out all of these conditions and throw these in too? And so then it just really started evolving very quickly into how can we help people where they're at? How can we
meet people,
educate people, not just meet people where they are, but how can we provide the education? How can we provide the guidance? How can we provide the products to patients? That's Elizabeth's larger vision of this cannabis HMO that she's trying to build. And so how do I fit into that, right, is basically your question. So how do I fit into the larger vision? So other than the business development and media and those other kinds of things, what my job is that Elizabeth writes the curriculum, because again, I'm not a nurse, and I'm not definitely nowhere near advanced as in cannabinoid therapeutics as she is. So she writes the programs with the content, and then I go through and I say, okay, let's put this picture here. Let's put this infographic here. How do we make this interesting? How do we chunk it to make the content accessible? So if you remember on not the time that I was on in July by myself, we talked a lot about how do we make content accessible for people, and how do we then apply that knowledge into practical application. And so that's something else that I do as well, is I take the content and I say, okay, of all of the things that nurses need, or all of the things that patients need, how do they take this information and actually go and do it? Because reading about it is one thing, doing it is another. And so my main job, the main thing that I do with holistic caring is not only create the programs, but I also create the support events. So Sherry and I have lots of lovely events. So make sure that you please join us in the network to come and hang out with us in the events that we create. And, you know, just provide a sense of community. So I'm the one who runs the community. Whenever everyone comes knocking on the door, I'm the one who lets you in. And then I welcome you at some point in time. I'm behind right now, but I do welcome everyone that comes in and start that conversation and really create a safe space, a safe environment where people can become educated at whatever level they're at. If you can't afford any of the programs, there's lots of free things going on.
Name them. Can I name them?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Blown away. I was like, this is like, if I was a new patient, I'm telling you, this is the place to be. It took me 2 years to figure out how to make cannabis work for me. And I'm going to admit I'm pretty smart. So this is just a great place. The community, it's free. It's uncensored. It's private. Free introductory to cannabis course, free monthly webinar, free patient portal, free patient support group, free book club.
Oh yeah.
And you don't even need to own the book. You don't even need to own the book. Now,
everybody's got one.
Right? How cool is that? What a cool club to belong to, right? Of course, there are things that you pay for, but for the majority, we want to provide a sense of community, a place where you can come to feel safe, to learn at your own pace. That's what I love. You know, I was when you introduced me to Mighty Networks, I was like, mighty Tasha. This is awesome. I just hit the jackpot as a nurse because it's a great place to send patients and providers. So it's not just for patients, it's for providers, whether you be a licensed health provider or not, or even if someone that's interested in coming into the cannabis space as a coach. So it's really for all people. And I love the ecosystem, how it's broken down and how people are able to interact with one another. I love it. Great.
Absolutely. Great. And, you know, let me just add in there, we have growers, we have dispensary owners, we have dispensary workers. I mean, it's so interesting to see the people that are getting into the network, because it's really, you know, whenever we talk about the vertical integration model, right, from seed to sale, it's really so cool to see that, you know, all kinds of people inside of the network. And, you know, again, come and interact and enjoy and meet people and, you know, and have conversations.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great community. The other thing I really, really love about the programs that you've developed, and we've talked about this before on previous shows, is how when you are looking to be education, there's information versus education. And I really love your explanation of that as to how our programs are different. Would you just
Sure. So information is whenever you're the receiver. So for all of the people that are watching this podcast right now, you're being informed. Right. Okay. So you're getting the input of the information. That's including reading. It's including watching videos. It's, you know, listening to podcasts or, you know, the Sherry's podcast, for example, you know, any level of receiving information. Education then takes it a step further and says, okay, now that you've received that information, let's take that, apply it, and do. So the education piece would be the doing part. And that's the really important thing that I want people to understand whenever you're looking for all of these programs that are out there, because now there are numerous ones at this point, and they all are on different pieces of the industry, right? There's all kinds of industry level education out there. And but the main thing, though, is that whenever you're shopping around and you're trying to choose the one that's right for you, is that you're choosing the ones that not only give you the information, but then teach you how to use it. That is really, really key, because you don't just want to, you know, have a book and say, okay, now what? Now what do I do, right? You want to be able to take that and say, okay, how can I take this and now use money? How can I take this to help patients? How can I take this to heal myself, right? plus more questions, right? But how do you then take that information and then apply it in a practical way?
Yeah. And what we're seeing too in the community is we're seeing a lot of health professionals, industry professionals, and nurses that have taken other programs coming to ours, because that's what we offer. We do offer, you think about when you go to school, nursing school, you receive that information. Well, then you do a clinical. You actually have the experience of working hands-on with patients. And so we're offering that experiential learning, which has been just amazing. So let's get into some of the programs, which is really good because we have.
That's my favorite part.
I know. So the newest program that's been developed, we got a couple of them. I'm going to let you pick.
Yeah, well, okay. So Cannabis Wellness for Moms. So I am a mom. I'm a single mom. I have a daughter and a son. And before the pandemic, I could, trust me, I can't imagine my life before, because for everyone it was stressful. There's a lot of anxiety happening now, especially with the remote learning. And God bless all of the parents out there that are not educators. I was struggling. So if you were a parent at home that is not an educator, you are my hero. So thank you to all those parents out there that were helping your kids, because man, I know I was struggling, and I have taught online classes before and elementary school, right? So, it is not an easy thing. So Cannabis Wellness for Moms is, I just tidied it up today. It will be ready next week. It will be ready for purchase sometime once we finish the website, hopefully next month.
Yeah.
We'll make a big announcement. Trust me, we'll do a big launch. This is just like, don't tell anybody kind of information. This is just between all of us. So Cannabis Wellness for Moms is based on the book Weed Mom by Danielle Simone Brand. Yep. So you purchase the book, and then you take a program, and then you say, okay, how do I have a community with other canna moms out there? And so that is the newest program that I have built. And let me tell you, I'm super proud of that one. That program is now going to be the template for all of the other programs. It's amazing. I love it. I had a, yeah. And working with Danielle too. I mean, she is just lovely. She's very lovely.
She is lovely. I've done 2 podcasts with her, one on my podcast and another one on In the Weeds. Yeah. And so her book is really, really powerful. It's really inspiring. Yes. There's a lot of cannabis quotes in there from nurses, which I think is really cool. And a lot
and she, just today we were having the conversation. First of all, she was like, wow, I can't believe you took my book and did this. And I was like, it's just like a Socratic seminar. It's not a big deal. But what we're planning to do, but what we're planning to do in the future after, we get some people in there, is we're planning to have a mom support group with that program.
Ooh, there we go.
How fun is that?
Yeah, I'm in like Flynn. I'm a mom for sure. 3 kids, all different ages, doing 3 different things. And, cannabis is a topic that, we talk about all the time, and it's important to talk to our children about it. So not only as a cannabis consumer, mom, taking it as medicine, but I do use it in a recreational sense. And how do we have those conversations? So I just think it's really, really, it's a strong, rich program based on the Weed Mom book that looks at moms that are actually using cannabis, teaching moms how to use it for wellness and how to educate your children, if you're at home, and Danielle does a great job. I don't know if you all followed her at all, but she's got some great social media that she does on Instagram. She does little videos and just really demonstrating the safe use of cannabis as a mom. And, like we hear, what is it? Mommy needs her wine, all that stuff. Well, this is what it is. Mommy wants to feel good. Yeah. Period. That's it. We're decreasing stigma around what it means to feel good. And as a mother, what the most important thing, we want to show up as the best version of ourselves for our children. And how do we do that? And how can cannabis help? So I think this is an amazing program, and God love you, Tasha, for doing it.
Well, I'm so blessed to have the opportunity, because again, how do we support all types of people? And of course, moms are, how can I discipline at a 2 instead of a 10?
Exactly.
Right. Like even though I'm an educator, I still have my moments too. And so how do I reduce the number of those moments, especially during these really stressful times, right?
Oh yeah.
So the next program that we have is global cannabis programs for practitioners. It is a entry level basic program. I haven't even finished building out the skeleton of that yet. That will come at some point. But if you're a practitioner, so not a nurse, but this is aimed towards MDs and other doctors. So if you're a doctor, then you would take that introductory program, and then you would learn the very, very, very basics of cannabis as medicine and practicing on a global scale. So I don't know if everyone knows, but we're an international company at this point. So we will have our programs extending into Mexico, Canada, the UK, Germany, and Australia. So those programs are going to be geared towards those people in those countries.
Okay.
Then I finally am going to get around to finishing the last, sorry guys, patient program, autoimmune. I know many of you have been waiting so patiently, and I really appreciate that so much. Just with the merger, there's just a lot going on, and sometimes it's really difficult for me to take time out to write the programs. And so autoimmune is coming very, very, very soon.
Good one. I'm really looking forward to that one. We have a lot of patients that come to us with autoimmune conditions, and a lot of patients that come to us, doctors don't even know what's wrong with them. So
right.
When we think about, when we talk about autoimmune, oftentimes it's the endocannabinoid deficiency. It's that deficiency that triggers that autoimmune response where our bodies are fighting against us. So really good stuff. I'm really looking forward to that program.
Yes. And then the last huge thing is, not only am I doing a major overhaul of all of our programs, including the patient ones and the licensing program, but we're also going to be seeking international accreditation. So I am also responsible for those types of things. So I have a huge handbook that I think is like 250 or 500 pages. I can't remember. It's huge. And I have it in a digital format that tells you the step-by-step process to seeking international accreditation. So that is another thing that I'll be working on this fall.
Just for our new viewers, what does that mean to have an international accreditation?
Oh, okay. So what that means, that's a big deal. It's a really big deal. So what that means, and anyone who's taking any kind of educational programs, I want you to understand something. We are right now a certificate program. So we say, you know, you've gone through our program, here's your certificate. If you're a nurse, you do receive CEUs for that. But accreditation takes it one step further, so that essentially we are offering college credits. So now, instead of you earning a certificate from a certificate program, now you're going to be earning college credits on the track and on the way eventually down the line to a degree.
There you go. Get your GN degree.
Yes.
That's fun.
So we have lots of different types of nurses, right? So Sherry's a pediatric nurse, and Elizabeth, she was in a psych ward for a long time. And she does geriatric care now.
Hospice, home infusion, chemo.
Yeah.
Those are the main ones. Critical
So
care.
now you can become a green nurse through an accredited program, and green nurse, it will be another one of those avenues, right? So that's a really big deal.
That's it. So can you imagine RN, BSN, GN?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That's what that means. You get more letters at the end of your name.
You get more letters. It'll look like, let me see what it'll look like. It's gonna look like, let me get rid of this one banner. I have it right here. Sherry Tuckus, BSN, RN, GN. I'm manifesting.
Yes, there you go.
All right. So here we go. Let's get back to it. So accreditation. So this is great. Now we also have another program that we're going to talk about, our affiliate program, where we are rolling out the Green Nurse approved products in our CBD marketplace. So for our new viewers, will you explain what that is?
Sure. So aside from the curriculum things that I do, the affiliate program is another program that I run and that I manage. And so the affiliate program gives everyone who is in our network the opportunity to earn money, earn commissions, earn dollars, either while you learn. So we have a nurse yesterday that she said, I don't have the money right now, but how can I work towards that, right? And we're like, sign up for the affiliate program. So we, Holistic Caring, have our own affiliate program where you can refer programs. Refer the programs out. And so let's say you have, a certain number of people sign up for licensing, a certain number of people that sign up for the condition-based programs. You would earn a commission off of every single one of those sales, okay? So that is a way that you can earn money at the same time that you are learning or intending to learn. Yep. Now, also, a very important part of becoming a green nurse, especially, is that how do we get products to patients?
Right.
Quality, vetted products. So we have the Green Nurse Approved Marketplace. And the Green Nurse Approved Marketplace are products that we have all vetted. So Sherry, Elizabeth, and I, and some of the other nurses have vetted these products and say, okay, here's our stamp of approval. This is medical grade. This will help patients. And by the way, if you're a products company, we're looking for some specific products. So just message Sherry or I later on, like give us a call. I'm looking for some specific things here that we're having a hard time finding. And so we say, okay, nurses, here are a list of products that you are going to be trained on that you can then refer out to patients. We want all of our nurses to be affiliates of those product companies. They do not have anything to do with us directly. It's the nurse and the product company have the relationship. You would get a link, send that out to your patients, and then every time they would shop, you would earn a commission from that company as well.
Right.
And so affiliate programs now are very, very popular. All kinds of companies have them, and it's just a really great way that you can refer product and earn a commission off of that.
And the part that's great too about having multiple different companies in our CBD marketplace is because there's a variety, right?
Yes.
We can't be limited to one brand of products. Patients' cannabinoid requirements change over time as they change. Oftentimes patients want to try new methods of administration, different types of profiles, and it's really good to have a big variety. And as nurses, we need to be educated fully on those product lines. So when we are doing the consulting, if that particular product might be available, you have the information readily available to educate on them so they can choose that product. Now, the interesting thing too, I've worked with a lot of nurses, and some of them will be like, oh, I feel kind of weird taking a commission. I'm like, well, let's just talk about this. What you're actually doing is you're providing customer service for that particular CBD company.
Yes.
You are actually creating a relationship that is going to be ongoing, and you're managing those customers for that CBD company. So you deserve. So when I work with clinicians and nurses, and you deserve to be compensated for that. It's not like we're robbing people. It's just that it's a work. It's an energy exchange. You're educating, you're empowering, you're helping patients to choose and pick. You're doing the customer service for that CBD company. You deserve to get paid. Simple as that. I don't know any nurses that go to the hospital and work for free. Do you?
No.
So,
no.
Literally. So it's okay to earn. And so that's what we're doing here. The Green Nurses at Holistic Caring Network, we're teaching, educating, empowering, not only patients to take care of themselves, but for other providers to enter into the cannabis space to help people and to also to be able to generate an income stream.
Yes. And I just want to add to Sherry before we move to the next topic, that it's really important that in our programs, we do talk about all of the routes of administration. And so in order to very properly take care of a patient, nurses need access to all of the routes. So that's what we are striving for at this time. So I'm just going to throw it out there. If you make patches, please call me. If you make suppositories, please call me.
Okay, let's do this. I'm going to put this right in here. We're looking for suppositories.
And patches.
And patches.
And sublingual strips and tabs.
Suppositories Patches. I'm going to write this all down so y'all can get this. Patches.
Yeah.
Suppositories, patches, and what's the other one? Oh, sublingual.
Sublingual tabs and strips. Both.
All right. Tabs.
We found a company for the strips, but they are not going to onboard us until December, maybe.
All right. So there's an opportunity for someone out there to get here quicker.
Yes.
Get on the bus.
We are not looking for tinctures and we are not looking for topicals because we are all swimming in those things. So can I just pander to the audience to help, because I'm really struggling finding patches and suppositories.
Patches, suppositories, sublingual. And, you know, and I actually too, I do like capsules. Oftentimes I'll have private caregiver formulators create capsules for patients. So that's another thing. If you make capsules, I'm interested in looking at those as well. So what we're doing is we're vetting products. We're putting them in our CBD marketplace. We're educating patients. Tasha's creating programs with the different owners of these companies. So the information that is out there is accurate, stamped with approval. So, you know, in order to become part of the CBD marketplace, you have to go through Tasha, Elizabeth, and myself. We critically evaluate, we try everything. And, you know, like I said, we want to make sure that we have something for everyone. You know, as nurses, what we've been doing in the cannabis space for so long is finding out what patients and providers want and need. And we're here to bring it to you.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Because the number one thing people are looking for is education. And number two is quality products.
That's it.
And we do that for you. We bring it all. We got everything. It's a one-stop shop.
We do. So as we start to wrap it up, there's a lot of people that want to know how to become a green nurse. How do you become a green nurse? And so what are the steps, Tasha? I mean, I know I can go through them and tell them, but I want to hear it from you.
Yeah. So step one, you have to join the community. Yeah. Step two, you have to take the introductory program. So get acquainted. Many people know, have an understanding, but there are other things in that program as well, because there's some research, there's some science. It's a little bit more in depth than just hey, consume cannabis to feel better. It's not that. So that would be step two, is taking the intro program. Step three is going to be a green nurse specifically, you have to take the licensing program. There's an initial $900 fee and then a $600 renewal. And so what does that mean? What does that get you? So because we're talking about nurses needing to have up-to-date information, so we do a yearly update of our programs and our research, unless it's something pertinent, right? So 1964 all the way back to Dr. Meshulam, like that type of research would be older than 3 years, but otherwise nothing more than 3 years old. Because the landscape is changing all the time. Since we put those programs together, 5 more states legalized adult use just in the past year, right? So, we have to stay on top of the most up-to-date information. It's also an opportunity for you to use the IP. So we have all of the patient forms and everything in there. And then you also would receive mentoring. So it would be time with myself, Elizabeth, and Sherry. So if you have questions and things like that, that's time, because again, other programs, you would have to do everything on your own, but here you have some level of support.
Yes.
And then that would be ongoing, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And then step 4 would be to sign up for the affiliate program. Step 5 would be to sign up as an affiliate for products and do the product training. And then step 6 would be to apply to be a green nurse. Now that's based on need. So right now I'm so very fortunate that we have so many nurses that have come in right now. So right now our demand is very high, and then our supply is down. So right now we have the needs, the patients that we have, our needs are being met. But of course, as we continue to grow globally, we will only increase in patient volume. So we will need ongoing training for nurses and things like that.
And that's the part that I really like about the program too. So, and people will kind of roll their eyes at the cost. I pretty much say, listen, in Massachusetts, the Massachusetts Nursing Association is a yearly fee, and many hospitals, big teaching hospitals in Massachusetts, require nurses to have a membership with the Massachusetts Nursing Association in order for them to work in that institution. And that's $700 a year. And they definitely don't get what we provide at Holistic Caring Network, for sure. And that's the part that I like too. It's the ongoing education. It's updated. There's a community. There's actually the experiential learning, the hands-on, working directly with patients. The other thing that we've done too is we just started doing green nurse cannication retreats. So really teaching not only providers, but patients how to have that integrated experience. So to become, like I said, to one of the green nurses, we are a global platform. We are consulting all over the world, across the United States and all over the world. And we want to make sure as we evolve and develop and we go global, and as this legalizes, we're creating a system where we're going to be able to take insurance. So we want to have the best of the best, the nurses that are most educated, the most compassionate, and have the most tools to effectively create change as we're doing in this space. We're revolutionary change agents. So it's important. We here it is. Ready? We're here to set you up for success.
Yeah. Yes, a green nurse in every community. And we are doing our very best to prepare everyone as best as we can based on whatever need. We meet everyone where they're at. Yeah. So you do a self-paced program, and then you download all of the tools that you need. You look through the tools and you ask questions whenever you have them. And again, there are many programs out there that don't have that. Right. And that to me is very disheartening, because again, they complete programs and they say, okay, now what? Right.
Exactly.
And our program, again, like there's one recently that I found out about. It's over $3,000, and it's just information.
It's just information. It's not education or implementation.
Right.
Right. And so that's the part that's cool. So the benefits of the licensing program is tools to support and create your own consulting business, and being able to be part of the nurse mentoring and training program, which could lead to green nurse employment on our platform. Really, really excited for that. So the next piece of this is we're having an event next Wednesday, September 22nd, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, Ask an Alumni. So basically we're going to have nurses on and other health coaches and practitioners that have been through the Holistic Caring Network training, as well as being trained through the Green Nurse platform. And these different nurses are going to share their stories of what they did to become a cannabis nurse, a green nurse, and share, all of the different things that they did, how they've worked with us, and how it has panned out in their lives personally and professionally. So definitely want to come September 22nd. If you're interested in becoming a coach, interested in becoming a green nurse on our platform, interested in me doing anything in the cannabis space, come to one of the events and hear from those nurses and practitioners that have gone before you. In order to go to the event, we need you to come into the community, right? But
you have to RSVP through you have to join the community and RSVP through there. The link is in the community. It's an Eventbrite link, and then you click it, register, but the link is in the community.
Yep. So I'll put that link up. I know that there was a little Eventbrite that said ask. I saw a little thing fly through social media, so I'll find that and circulate that as well. But it's really, really it's going to be a great opportunity to speak to nurses that have been doing this for a while, speak to coaches who have been through the Holistic Caring Network programs, and how and what they're doing now in their communities, being able to effectively create change, through the patients and the people that they work with. So really, really excited. And then there's special discounts too, right?
Oh yeah. So we're going to have, and I'll tell you half of it because it's mostly a secret, but we have a 48-hour flash sale that we're going to have. So we just did a 50% off sale. So if you guys missed that 50% off sale that we had all summer, so we started that sale June 1st and it ended August 31st and was 50% off all of our programs. So if you missed that sale, unfortunately, because we did some adjustment to our pricing, we're not going to have a sale like that anytime maybe ever again. So here is an opportunity to have a sale. I will share with all of viewers right now, it's 25% off. So it's
All
not
programs.
as steep, off of all programs. So it's not as steep as a discount as 50% off like we had over the summer. But at least this is something that, again, we want to try to meet people where we're at, or where they're at, excuse me. So, if you're in a situation that, you are looking for a discount, this is where you would be able to find that discount. And then, unfortunately, not at this time, we don't have any other sales planned for the rest of the year because we're just super busy with the merger and me developing programs and running other programs and things like that. But I won't say it won't happen, but at this time, there's nothing slated. So this may be your last opportunity for the rest of the year to
get a deal.
Let's
make a deal, y'all. I'm telling you, it was best. I wish that when I started my cannabis nurse journey, that holistic caring was around. I'm telling you right now, I'm blown away by everything that you guys offer. Really, really grateful to be part of the platform, and really grateful to be able to spread the message and get as many people possible trained and educated on this most magnificent plant.
Yes. And I'm grateful for you, Sherry.
Oh, thank you, girl.
And I am grateful for all the people that join our network because, for me, it's a gigantic classroom. So, I bring hope and inspiration to people, and that's what I wanted to do whenever I very first started this journey. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who joins our network and interacts with me. I am a real person, so some people didn't think that I was real, but I am a real person that interacts with you. And so, I'm always available to answer questions. If you guys need anything, I try to be very responsive as much as I can. Just keep in mind, still I'm a single mom with 2 kids and, have a lot going on, but I really do try to do my best to keep up with everyone and provide the best education, information, support, whatever you need, connections. Some of our patients had very, very special needs and they needed to be connected with very particular types of nurses. So I do go out and I do try to find those. So again, I try to support and help as much as I can.
Here we go. We're rocking it. Here we go. Holistic Caring Network and the Green Nurses. And remember, everyone, come join us in the community, and really, really remember, it is about living your best life and helping others do the same.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you all tomorrow morning.
Yeah.